All right, welcome back to part 2. So now we're going to get a little bit more complicated. So Jay, we're going to still write an equation, but now we are going to write it in standard form. That goes through the point 25 with a slope of -3. Okay, so again, whoops, sorry, I wasn't focused. There we go, better. All right, so this one, you have to look at where we're going and what we got. So where we are going is we want an equation in standard form. Hopefully you guys remember that means that we are dealing with ax plus by equals c. So that is our ultimate goal, but we still have a point and a slope. That means I still have to go through point slope form first. All right, so I still have to go through point slope first. So again, we should be good at this by now. Y minus, and let's again make sure we're doing this right. So we're going to do y minus our y1, which is 5, equals our slope, -3, times x minus x1, which is 2. Okay, now we still have to take those 2 steps to get this point slope into slope intercept if we're going to go all the way into standard form. So the first thing we have to do is distribute. Y minus 5 equals -3x, and -3 times -2 is +6. This sign right here gets people into a lot of trouble, so make sure when you're going through this whole process, you're being very careful with your signs. All right, and then we still have to add this 5 over. So y equals -3x plus 11. But again, I am not done here. This is slope-intercept form, and I want standard form. So remember, to go from standard form, from slope-intercept form, all you have to do is add the x term over, or add or subtract the x term over. I'll just say to the left side. So we're adding or subtracting the x term over to the left side. So since it's negative, I'm going to add it. So plus 3x plus 3x. And then I can have it in standard form. So again, my x's have to go first. I have +3x. Then my y, I have +1y. And then it equals, since these guys cancel out, my constant, which is 11. And before I circle my answer, is x a positive whole number? And indeed it is. So I shouldn't say x, I should say a, but nevertheless it is. So that is our answer. Okay, let's just do one of those again real fast. So this is k. So write an equation in standard form. That goes through -4, 5 with a slope that equals -8. So again, this isn't too bad. We still have to start with point slope. So let's label our x and our y here. So we have y minus y1, so y minus 5 in this case equals our slope, which is -8 times x minus x1. So again, when we're doing x minus -4, minus a negative means a plus. I always want that opposite sign in there. So the 5 should look negative, the 4 should look positive. Okay, take my 2 steps to get it into slope-intercept form. So distribute my slope. So I have -8x and then -32 because I have a negative times a positive. Add or subtract my number with my y over here. Y equals -8x minus 27. And again, this is in slope-intercept form. I want it in standard form. So therefore, the last thing that I have to do is get my x's to the left side. So I got to add my x's again. So now I have 8x plus 1y equals -27. A, B, and C are all integers. My A is positive, so that means it is ready to be circled. Okay, let's turn the pages real fast. Okay, let's take it one step farther. Let's make it a little bit harder. Okay, so this would be L. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. Given -5, 7 and 2, 1. So this one is a little bit different. So again, we're trying to get into slope-intercept form, but what are the two things I need to get to slope-intercept form? I would need a slope and a y-intercept. I do not have a y-intercept as either one of my points, and they didn't give me a slope. But can I figure out what my slope is from 2 points? And you guys should be saying absolutely. So the first thing that I need to do is I need my slope. So you guys should be remembering our formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Oops, x1. All right, so let's find that real fast. So I'm going to find my slope over here. So I'm going to have 1 minus 7, because I'm just going to label these just in case. Whoops, this is y1, and then x2, y2. So 1 minus 7, and then I got to start with this one again. 2 minus -5, and hopefully you guys remember that whenever you subtract a negative, that always means that you are adding. Okay, so 1 minus 7 is -6, and now I have 2 plus 5, which is 7. So my slope is going to be -6/7. Okay, so now I have a slope in 2 points. Again, I still need to start with point slope form. That's all I have enough information for. So now you can do either one. You can choose this point in point slope form. You can choose that point in point slope form. It does not matter because both of these points are on the same line. So I'm just going to go with this one. So we're just going to go with that one. I choose that one. All right, so y minus y1, which is 7, equals my slope that I found, which was -6/7, times x minus x1. So x minus a negative is going to be positive. Okay, then I just need to distribute my slope, and now I'm dealing with a fraction again. So, and will you have fractions on your test? Absolutely. So make sure you're not just skimming over this stuff, make sure you actually know how to do this. So -6/7 times x, that's easy, -6/7 x. But again, I can't simplify, I can't divide the 5 by 7, so treat this guy like 5 over 1, multiply the numerators and denominators. So -6 times +5 is -30. 7 times 1 is just 7. And then I have to add my 7 over here. But again, remember that this is just 7 over 1, so I need a denominator of 7. So I got to turn this into common denominators. So I want my common denominator of 7, which means I have to multiply top and bottom by 7. So 7 times 7 is 49, and 7 times 1 is 7. So really, I'm adding this to that. So just make sure you're paying attention to that. Okay, so now I'm just going to move it over here. So now I have y equals, since these guys cancel out, -6/7 x. -30 plus 49 is 19, positive 19. Keep it over the same denominator, which is 7. And we were trying to get into slope-intercept form. This is indeed in slope-intercept form, so I can leave everything as fractions. This one is done. Okay, again, pause that if you need to. Just make sure you know what you're talking about. Okay, so this one. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. Given, whoops, can't spell again. Given 4, 2, and 1, -5. Okay, so same exact process. If I was you, maybe like pause it over here, try to figure it out on your own, and then see if you actually did it right on yourself. And that way, when we review in class, it'll be super easy peasy. Okay, so first thing I got to do is find the slope. If I'm given 2 points, I have to write it in slope-intercept form. That means I have to have a slope by one means or another. So y2 minus y1, negative 5 minus 2 over x2 minus x1, 1 minus 4. So a negative minus a number is going to always be a bigger negative. So I'm going to have negative 7. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. Never, ever, ever leave your slope like this. Negative over a negative is a positive, and you must write it as such. So the slope that I'm going to be using is positive 7 over 3. If you write it like this in your equation, you're just going to confuse yourself. It is positive. Okay, then I'm just going to choose one of my points. So I'm just going to choose 4, 2 for this case. Doesn't matter which one. So y minus my y value, so y minus 2 equals my slope, 7/3 times x minus my x value, which is 4. Step 1, distribute. Y minus 2 equals 7/3 x. All right, put this one under the 4, and then multiply the numerator. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. 3 times 1 is negative 3. Then I have to add the 2. But again, I have to have common denominators. I need a denominator of 3. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 3. So what I am really adding is 6/3. So negative 28/3 plus 6/3. So y equals 7/3 x. Negative 28 plus 6 is negative 22, excuse me. And then always stay over the same denominator. So I have 7/3 x minus 22/3. And that is in slope-intercept form, which is what I wanted it in. So that was it. So besides the fact of just having to have common denominators, these problems shouldn't be that bad. You know how to find slope very well. You know how to distribute. You know how to add and subtract fractions, even though you just got to be careful about that. So those shouldn't be that bad. All right, the next ones. And then I'll stop it after these couple of examples. But these ones are honestly the easiest ones, and some of you guys will still get them wrong. And you just need to practice these. And it doesn't even take that much to study or practice these. So write an equation of a vertical line. I'm going to write line down here through negative 5, 11. Okay. So you might not see what you're supposed to know now, but by the time you see this, it should take you about like 5 seconds to once you see it again, you're going to just be like, oh, this takes me less than 5 seconds to actually figure it out. Whenever you see vertical or horizontal for that matter, the first thing that should be popping into your head is bucks. Vertical lines have undefined slopes and their equations are always x equals. Okay, so when I'm saying write an equation of a vertical line, I want x equals whatever number. So if I want the equation of a vertical line that goes through negative 5, 11, if I want x to equal a number, do you think I want it to equal to the x value or the y value? I want it equal to the x value, okay? So all you have to do is, what is the equation of a vertical line through negative 5, 11? X equals negative 5. Done and done. That is it. In half of my last class, I'm judging this off of half of my last class got this problem wrong on the test. That's just ignorance. Study this, okay? It's an easy problem that you can get an easy 2 points on your test. Oh, and I wrote down D because I was in the other one. That should have been N. O. Let's just keep on going with the alphabet over here. Okay, same difference. So now we're going to write an equation of a horizontal line. Through 3, 8. All right, same thing over here. When you see horizontal, what should you be thinking of? You should be thinking of Hoi. All right. So let me make sure that I can see that. So hoi, horizontal lines have zero slopes and they always have y equals equation. So I want y equals some number over here. And again, do you think I want y to equal the x value or the y value in my point? I want it to equal the y value. So what do I have to do? Y equals the y value, and I'm done. That is the equation of a horizontal line that goes through this point. A horizontal line would go through 1, 8, 2, 8, 3, 8, 4, 8, 5, 8, 0, 8, negative 1, 8, negative 2, 8. All of them are going to have the last digit of 8 because their slope is 0. All right, so we'll stop it there, and then we are going to have one more video about your wonderful parallel and perpendicular lines. Just take it a step farther, so good luck.